The case against one of Israel's most wanted fugitive, who was arrested yesterday, has been postponed to next week, Monday. The 46-year-old alleged gang leader appeared in the Randburg Magistrate's court today. He was arrested together with 7 others at a house in Bryanston. According to police, he faces various charges in Israel relating to at least 2 bombings in the early 2000s. He's been on Interpol's red notice since 2015. Tumaole Mohlaoli is keeping his eye on the case and joins us now in studio for an update. Tumaole, thank you for making time for us this afternoon. What happened in court today? You were not allowed in, but I'm sure you know what transpired.
Yes, in fact, we were allowed in quite briefly, and then we were then summarily told to leave the court because there was an interjection by a member of the Interpol saying that that was a closed hearing and that there was no member of the media that was supposed to be allowed in. We were then subsequently briefed outside the court steps by Pindi Mjondogwana of the NPA, and let's hear what she has to say in terms of just clarifying what exactly transpired and where we stand right now.
Firstly, was the appearance on the extradition matter, as information has already been circulated that the accused before court is sought by Israel on charges of murder and attempted murder. So that case has been postponed to Monday, where 7 more accused persons that were arrested together with the accused at the premises in Bryanston will be appearing on charges of possession of drugs, possession of unlawful firearms and ammunition. And the second part of the case was then the extradition matter itself.
All right, so are they then back in court on Monday?
They are back in court on Monday, and so what seems to be happening is that the NPA is going to separate these matters, which means, of course, this Interpol sought suspect, the most wanted in Israel, is then going to be basically about an extradition process whereby they're going to apply to the court to put the matter before the court in terms of what he stands accused of in Israel. We know that, of course, this is a very, very dangerous man if the allegations against him are anything to go by. One who planted a bomb that led to the deaths of several people, among other charges that he sought for. So very, very serious charges he's facing in his home country. So that extradition process will be put to the court in terms of application, and that would then be separated by the others. He's a co-accused, and then we'll find out their nationalities and basically the charges they face, which include, of course, money laundering, kidnapping, as well as drug possession and possibly drug dealing. Yeah.
How tight was security? When you have a profile like this, police are not leaving anything to chance.
Police are not leaving anything to chance. And in fact, we saw some members of the security cluster, if I can use that terminology, wearing almost army-like fatigues in court. That would mean that they are really high up in terms of their specialization, in terms of the special forces within the police service. And it was pretty packed. They were right in the corridor, and they were making sure that nobody who was not supposed to be even around the court room in terms of the where the suspect appeared this morning would come close. So security was very tight even outside the court. We had very specialized kind of police presence. In colloquial terms, they call them mabarete. So these are the special units of the police as well, who are in police uniform but wear those berets, and again heavily armed, so taking no chances. This just gives you a sense of just how important in terms of danger and in terms of the high alertness that this particular suspect is deemed. I can tell you one thing though, quite an imposing character. I spent a few moments behind him before the media was asked to leave, and certainly has a presence about him. Took a little glance behind, looked at me, I looked at him, felt a little shiver go down my
of course,
spine.
I would shiver too.
Yeah, so certainly someone who is who certainly commands a certain presence. I don't know if it's because of everything that we've reported upon and everything that we've been experiencing, certainly myself, over the last few days. But it was quite an experience to stand right there behind.
Yeah, let's hope it didn't scare you to a point that you don't return next week when he returns to court.
We'll be right there.
Thank you so much for that update.